In this section, we're looking at moving around the site. Not everyone will need to drive a vehicle, but you'll all need to walk from place to place, so we'll be covering pedestrian issues too. Visitors and contractors should park their vehicles in designated car parks and report to the relevant gatehouse. The site follows similar signage to those used on public highways, so many of them will be familiar to you. They must be observed at all times, including the directional arrows, as there are one-way road systems in place. There's a mandatory maximum 10 miles per hour speed limit for all vehicles, and we conduct regular random speed checks throughout the site, which we keep a record of, so it's important you observe the limits at all times. There is restricted site access for private cars and unmarked vehicles. However, there might be times where limited site access is needed, if you're dropping off tools or materials on site, for instance, in which case you'll be issued with a temporary pass. Security will monitor this to ensure your vehicle leaves the site when expected. It's important your vehicle leaves by the time stated on your pass, since if it's found on site after this time, it could result in any future requests for temporary access being refused. There are numerous pedestrian crossings on the Stallingborough site. There are also designated walkways on site to segregate people from vehicles and areas where high visibility clothing must be worn to minimise the risk of accidents. The rules on site are engineered to keep you safe, so please follow them. Always maintain an awareness of traffic when you're walking about. This is an industrial site and there will be large vehicles, forklift trucks and other large items of plant operating on a continual basis. Whilst on the Stallingborough site, it is not permitted to use a mobile phone whilst walking. Stop in a safe place and remain stationary whilst you're using your handset. So in this section, we've covered the procedures for moving around the Tronox site, exploring traffic speed management, road signs, which vehicles can or can't access the site, and pedestrian issues. Please make sure you familiarise yourself with the signs and speed limits so you're not the one to have to explain why you can't drive any vehicles here. There's another panel of questions to answer now, and when you've answered them correctly, click the Next button and move on to the next section.